I got a call. I heard you were asking me. I just asked again. We know, buddy, my number, his wife's son. And that's how, he ends up coming. Hey, you're looking for. I'm just trying to give you a heads up there, brother. I don't know if you've heard. That's what I was told, same thing.
Video on, Michelle says.
Videos, commissioners for votes.
Remember,
Videos.
Yes, sir. He did.
Yep. Definitely the invoice list. Or the adjustment list, yeah, invoice, yeah. We always look through it, I mean, they're getting. One session, we don't need to do, but. I'm ready.
It seems like we're in the hybrid right now.
I want to see what happens if we get a 116 come through. I want to move right toward.
No.
This session, see what happens. See if
is that ready?
I got one of my clerks here.
Like to call the regular session of Isabella County Board of Commissioners to order and stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Here.
Here.
Commissioner Jablonski.
Here.
Commissioner Marino.
Here.
Commissioner Sweeney.
Here.
Commissioner Embry.
Here,
Commissioner Hope.
Here.
All present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Up next would be approval of the agenda. We'll start with general public comments. We have no presentations, no appointments to boards or commissions, and we'll approve the consent agenda. And then committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Finance and Administration Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
The county. That.
Thank you. Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Human Public Works Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have no intergovernmental affairs, no administrator controller issues, no unfinished business. Under new business, we have the two FOIA appeals that we deliberated during the work session. And then general public comment again, and then announcements and then adjournment. So with that, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Marino.
Support.
Moved and supported, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good. General public comment. Is there anyone for general public comment? Okay, seeing no one for general public comment, we'll move on. Consent agenda, Commissioner Embry, would you present that for us, please?
certainly. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motion reads. Move to approve and place on file the June 20th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. The July 11th, 2023 Finance and Administration Committee meeting minutes. The July 11th, 2023 Human Resource and Public Works Committee meeting minutes. And the July 11th, 2023 Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee meeting minutes.
Support.
Been moved and supported and place on file the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Very good. Brings us down to committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first item of business is the June 16th, 2023 invoice list, the June 23rd, 2023 invoice list, and June 30th, 2023 invoice list, the July 7th, 2023 invoice list, and adjustment list dated for July 13th, 2023. Motion reads, move to ratify and place on file the June 16th, 2023 invoice list in the amount of $417,727.81. The June 23rd, 2023 invoice list in the amount of $234,385.60. The June 30th, 2023 invoice list in the amount of $369,650.96. The July 7th, 2023 invoice list in the amount of $253,262.43. And the adjustment list dated July 13th, 2023.
Support.
Been supported to ratify and place on file the June 16th invoice list, the June 23rd invoice list, the June 30th invoice list, the July 7th invoice list, and the adjustment list for July 13th. Discussion.
As I reported in the work session, these bills come to our attention numerous times before they come before us at a regular meeting for approval. And at the work session, we did kind of take a look at all the bills, and people had a chance to, commissioners had a chance to ask their questions for clarification on any of them. I think the one standout payment that was made to an individual for the surplus proceeds from a tax sale, which was, I believe, the first one that the treasurer's office paid out since the determination that the proceeds minus fees and some costs do get returned to the property owner.
Very good. Any further discussion, questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Delzinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes,
0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Clerk.
Item number 2. Provider participation agreement with MSHDA, Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund. The motion reads, move to approve the provider participation agreement with MSHDA, Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund for assistance with paying water utility bills and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the provider participation agreement with MSHDA, Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund. Discussion.
Approving this provider participation agreement with MSHDA, Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund, would allow us to take care of our constituents who find themselves in financial hardship. It's no cost to the taxpayers as a whole, and would be very beneficial to folks who are struggling. So they do have to meet certain financial requirements, financial limitations, but in all, I think this is a very positive move forward for some of our residents.
Very good. Any further discussion, questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Delzinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Yes,
0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
Our third and final item is prime contract change order number 8 with Clark Construction. Motion reads, move to approve the prime contract change order number 8 with Clark Construction in the net additional amount of $216,209 and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the prime contract change order number 8 with Clark Construction. Discussion.
So with any large project as it moves forward, there's needs to be changes, and sometimes you have a net additional cost of the project. Sometimes you have a reduction. In this case, it's an increase of over 216,000. Heidi from Clark Construction was with us in the work session and outlined the various components that are behind the increased cost. The one that I was surprised to hear was the field had agricultural drainage. And so they tied that agricultural drainage because it still serves a purpose for the property in the future and taking it to the retention pond. So those are the types of things that pop up that maybe you didn't know about when you started the project and can impact the cost of the project.
Commissioner,
Quick on that, sometimes when they're building project houses and stuff, they'll, egg pile and they'll ignore that. It's always a big mistake, so you'll have so much problem with water coming in, but that pile can actually bring all the water for it. So I was trying to see to put a header on there and up there into the retaining pond, so.
Okay, well, this is change number 8, and the good news is that in the sequence of coming to this number 8, we still have a credit that we're drawing upon. So we still don't have a net impact of increased costs of the project at this point.
very good. Any other questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Embree,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson.
Yes.
Yes,
0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, this completes the work of the Finance and Administration Committee for this evening.
Thank you, gentlemen. That brings us to Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
All right, first up is independent contractor agreement with T. Pete Lorenz, PS. Motion reads, move to approve independent contractor agreement with T. Pete Lorenz, PS, effective for the 2023 remonumentation grant year and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the independent contractor agreement with T. Pete Lorenz, PS. Discussion.
Well, we're required to do the remonumentation and complete it sometime never in the future to continue to get this money. But they keep on going out and charging the monumentation funds, like taking corners and whatnot. We're lucky to get Pete Lorenz, who's has all the requirements and multiple letters behind his name because they're getting few and far between. These guys are getting really old. We have to get a few new guys in and we'll find them. It would get them. I know Lorenz's got 2 more letters behind his name besides PS2, but I couldn't remember what they were. I asked in committee. Anyway, again, we'll use their funds. Are there any questions?
Questions? Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Okay, the next item is the fiscal year 2022 Homeland Security Grant Program Intergovernmental Agreement. The motion reads, move to approve the fiscal year 2022 Homeland Security Grant Program Intergovernmental Agreement between West Michigan Regional Medical Consortium and Isabella County and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the fiscal year 2022 Homeland Security Grant Program Intergovernmental Agreement. Discussion.
Yeah, we had emergency management coordinator Helen Lee here earlier today. This is a Homeland Security grant. The Homeland Security grants have been drying up, so it gets to be a little less each year. This appropriation is for $27,417, and most of it's going to be used for equipment and planning. So this also allows Isabella County to have a voice in priority planning of where the money goes.
Very good. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
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 Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the work of the Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
Gentlemen, brings us to Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first item is Budget Amendment 2023 dash. Motion reads move to approve Budget Amendment 2023 14 to cover the increased cost of building maintenance at the Commission on Aging facility and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve budget amendment number 2023-14. Discussion.
Okay, the Commission on Aging building, which we're setting in right now, was constructed in 2008, so it's 15 years old. And because of that, we're in need of repairs and maintenance to the building. And it's like some of the examples are exterior door replacements in rooms A, B, and C, and some power washing and exterior painting touch-ups. The fund that we have line, that budget line, is dwindling. So when Jennifer Crawford presented this afternoon, she's wanted to she's requesting a transfer from the COA Building and True Improvement Fund, which has 328,930 into these activities, which would be a transfer of $25,000. So that's what that was all about.
Good. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
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 Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Clerk.
Here, second item, contract for generator service with AppCom Electrical and Power Systems. Motion reads, move to approve the contract for generator service with AppCon Electrical and Power Systems to provide a lower cost service related to the maintenance and service for the Generac generators and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the contract for generator services with AppCom Electrical and Power Systems. Discussion.
Yes, this is reported by Facility Director Steve Shoemaker and kind of went above and beyond on this, looking ahead. We have a contractor been using Wolverine. And just their trip charge would be $875. So he thought it was a good idea to look out and see if there's anybody closer and kind of reduce this rate. We put out a couple bids, a company out of Grand Rapids put in a bid, and then we also have somebody right here in town. And figure that we can save that trip charge every time.
I appreciate, as Commissioner Embry, I think, said, his efforts to be proactive and be a good steward of county resources. Commissioner Engler or Jelezinski.
I thought I got a promotion. It's also good to support local business too,
There you go.
whenever we can.
Any other discussion? And seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
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 Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Marino,
Yes.
Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Okay, next, item 3, temporary right-of-way easement agreement for access to Meridian Park. Motion reads, move to approve the temporary right-of-way easement agreement between William D. Whitehead and Nancy J. Whitehead and Isabella County for access to Meridian Park, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Supported to approve the temporary right-of-way easement agreement for access to Meridian Park. Discussion.
Yes. The Miranda Walker Parks and Recreation broke this down for us. This is a continuing saga of the land by Meridian Park, what it boils down to is an extension of the existing easement agreement and a small parcel of land that makes it possible to access the other inaccessible part to the park. And another part of this was the DNR was in the process of approving our appraisal, and they, since the committee meeting, they did do it. So that's makes it nice. And that's, is there any questions or anything like that? Comments?
Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Embree,
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Yes,
0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
It's the work of the Human Resources and Public Works Committee, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, gentlemen. We have no intergovernmental affairs, no administrator controller issues, no unfinished business. Under new business, we have the FOIA appeals that we discussed in the work session. Item A is the Clarissa Philhart FOIA denial appeal. Commissioners, what do you want to do with these? Jazinski.
The motion, I will move to uphold the FOIA denial put forth by the Isabella County Clerk's Office in response to the FOIA request from Ms. Clarissa Philhart dated April 3rd, 2023, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to uphold the FOIA denial put forth by the Isabella County Clerk's Office in response to the FOIA request from Ms. Clarissa Philhart dated April 3rd, 2023. Any discussion? Okay, good. Quite a bit of discussion in the work session. Basically, in my mind, we're acting on the advice of our general counsel in going forward with that. So any other discussion? And hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
or Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Embree,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes,
Is motion passed, Mr. Chairman?
Madam Clerk. That brings us down to item B, Bambi Hodge Cluley FOIA appeal. I know that Administrator Frost was going to kind of try to scramble and come up with a little more information for us on that.
Well, Melissa did, but I'm happy to report what she found.
Thank you,
and
Melissa.
I'm very confident in the numbers. So we did look up Michelle Ray's FOIA rate. As stated, she really is the lowest paid county employee who can do the electronic searching. 2 hours, Michelle's FOIA rate, remember, this is wages and all benefits combined, $60.54 an hour times 2 hours, check my math, please, is $121.08. So that would be the amount for search. The amount for redacting, I know we have leaned on our prosecuting attorney's office recently for redacting efforts. So I wanted to be specific about what employee was chosen for the lowest rate so I could justify it. We're pointing to Michelle for this rate. We ought to be able to point to a legal secretary in the prosecuting attorney's office. Again, recently has done redacting for me. So it does make sense to use that. Melissa did look at several legal secretaries in the prosecuting attorney's office because this is wages and benefits. It's not necessarily the lowest wage or lowest salary employee. If their benefits are less, if someone's on a single plan or a 2-person plan versus a family plan, it makes a difference, right? So Melissa did research that. So our lowest paid legal secretary would be $36.44 an hour, $36.44 as their FOIA rate. We talked earlier about using 3 hours. as an estimate for redacting. So
Mm.
3 times the 3644, I have at 109.32. When you add that to the 121.08 from Michelle's FOIA rate, I come up with a grand total of $230.40, of which a 50% good faith estimate would be $115.20.
Commissioner Swaney.
Do you want me to wait discussion after a motion, or is it okay to address charges?
I think we can discuss now, and then kind of come to, some.
Okay. I don't feel that it is proper to ignore what you stated. I'll paraphrase as your experience in the past with FOIA redacting, taking day wages of 7.5 and just arbitrarily reducing it to 3 hours because we feel that's right. We don't do the work. We sit here at a table twice a week. I would feel more comfortable in taking the experience of past redact, charging 7.5 hours with the rate that seems to be in alignment with legal. That would be my proposal. It's an estimate. We will still be charging 50%. And if it is an overestimate, even of that 50%, they will get return.
Reduction.
If we reduce it to 3 hours and we do a full day wages with a legal attorney where I know that they're pressed for hours worked on court cases, I think that this is, a poor use and then not getting a return, and it doesn't serve our constituents.
Commissioner Engler.
Yeah, this rate that you did is for the appraisal for the 50% but if it runs over that at the final bill, would that be added on? That would be an actual cost? Or once you give the estimate, that's it?
I feel like once we give the estimate, I'd be hard pressed to increase it.
It's the same with the redaction. Maybe it is 3 hours, maybe it ends up to be 5-6 hours, but it would be, because per the requirement would be 50%. But then if you actually ran into more time, I would hate to underestimate and be stuck with that number. To me, it seems it's more likely that that's for the initial 50% than any actual cost would be added on as actual cost. So I'm not sure if that's a legal prescription on there, but I think you could get yourself by sticking to an estimate that you haven't done yet.
Good point. Commissioner Jelzinski.
So my understanding is we're not going to do
That one.
this in-house, correct? We're going to contract this out to have somebody do it, which we're actually going to pay more than what we're going to recover. Which is not a service to the taxpayer. I know we shouldn't overcharge, but I agree with Commissioner Swaney that we need to make sure we cover as much of our costs as possible, being responsible to the taxpayer.
Yeah. Commissioner Engler.
One more thing to muddy the waters a little bit more, and in my world of the business is that when you give an estimate out and you start doing the work, if the estimate's actually going to be more, the phone call has to be out to approve that extra increase. Like I said, I hate to leave ourselves shorter on there. Curiosity on the system works, but usually you give an estimate, mostly on tractors breaking down, and they always find something extra, so they have to call you to approve the extra costs. I don't know if that's something you could consider or not. So.
Right. Well, My opinion, I think there's value in not trying to estimate too low. We want to be realistic. Perhaps the 3 hours was not realistic, perhaps the 7.5 is more realistic. And then if it's less, then the charge will be less.
There you go.
Sure.
So we're still talking about reducing the fee to an extent. What figure that would bring the. You want 7.5
7.5
hours?
Times the 3644.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should nail this down now.
Yep, actually, yes, you should before you make your motion. So that would be $273.30 for the redacting, and still looking at 121.08 for the search. So my math is at 394.38. And oh, done something terribly wrong there. It is not $913. 121.08 plus the 394.38. Sorry. Calculator on the computer. So now that new total would be 515.46, and half of that would be 257.73.
That still represents a reduction.
A minor reduction, but it is still a reduction, yes.
Run through that one with those numbers one more time.
Better believe it, yes. So that's Michelle's FOIA rate, which is $60.54 an hour times 2 hours to get us to 121.08 for Michelle's time to locate. That's regardless of whether Michelle does it or an outside company does it. That's what we're limited to charging. For redacting, we're using the lowest paid total compensation legal secretary in the PA's office. That FOIA rate is $36.44 at 7.5 hours. That totals $273.30. When you add that to the 121.08 for Michelle, the new total becomes
394.38.
38. Yes, I did. I added it twice, didn't I? Thank you. Yes, I did. I thought, why is that not a bigger reduction? Yes, I did. So thank you for having me walk you through. 36.44. It is a bigger reduction times 7.5, 273.30 plus the 121.08. Thank you. Gets us. Okay, gets us to 394.38.
How much?
394.38 would be the total, and a 50% reduction would be 197.19.
The deposit,
Say that again.
50% deposit
Yes. What did I say?
reduction.
Sorry. Yes, thank you again for checking me. 50% reduction.
The motion.
As long as it's in the motion, let's, reduce. To 197.19 would be the half, 50%. Thank you for that deliberation.
You want me to-
Commissioner Embry.
I'd like to make the motion to move to reduce to $394.38, the FOIA fee in regards to the FOIA request from Miss Bambi Hodge Cluley dated May 11th, 2023, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to reduce the fee in the Bambi Hodge Cluley FOIA fee appeal to a total of $394.38. 50% of which would be due in the form of a deposit.
Take your motion.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Yes.
Key,
Yes.
Yes.
0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That brings us to general public comment. Anyone for general public comment? Here. Towards the podium, do we have anyone online or? No, we do not. So we can move on. Commissioners, any announcements? Yeah, Commissioner Jelizinski.
A repeat announcement I made at a previous meeting in that I think we need to adjust our work session time, maybe from 5:30 to 5 o'clock to give us a little bit more leeway. This is what, our fourth meeting, that starting the regular meeting late.
Right. Okay,
Something to consider.
Clerk Lux.
But I just want to piggyback on Commissioner Embry's announcement earlier. So Election Integrity, the group that he was describing, is not affiliated with a group of individuals locally claiming the election fraud in Isabella County. Linda Richardson is actually here from Election Integrity. And I just want to make sure we kind of clear that up. She has been going door to door and trying to help our office also and the township clerks clean up the QVF, which is the qualified voter files. And going door to door, checking on residency of voters to ensure that they are truly still living there and then coming back to us if not. And also want to let you know that Ms. Melnick asked on the e-poll book sticks, who owns them? That is the state of Michigan. They own the software. Everything is brought down out of the QVF onto the e-poll book. So it's all owned by the state of Michigan Bureau of Elections, Secretary of State, whichever way you want to see it. And they are downloaded with all the voters' information and the eligible voters that can vote for the day of election at 4 p.m. the Monday before the election day. And then she asked who they're tested by. That's something you'd have to ask the state on who tests that software. What we test countywide though would be the tabulator SanDisk. There's a red and a green that's in the tabulator. Those are both tested in regards to the tabulators at a public testing that is usually announced in the newspaper and online. So I just want to make sure I clarified those two things also.
Appreciate that. Commissioner Embry.
I'd like to publicly apologize to Ms. Linda Richardson if I've demeaned you in any way. Your work is greatly appreciated. We need more people like you to clean up these qualified voter files in order to have accurate elections. So again, my apologies, ma'am.
Thank you. Commissioner Engler.
Yeah, we won't be meeting before this time, but on the 29th, they're going to be having a breakfast on the farm. Supported by the Farm Bureau, Greenstone Extension. The tickets are free, so you can get them online. So you can get them at, it's going to be in Barrington at the, just go online because there's like 30 different places you can get tickets. So between Remus and in here. So anyways, if anybody's interested, it's always a good time, especially for the young ones. So.
Great. Any other announcements? I'll just say again, our condolences to the family of John Haupt. Wonderful, wonderful man. And a great dedicated public servant, the kind that we all need, that every community needs. And also I want to mention that the Council of Governments meets tomorrow at 7 p.m. in the county building in room 3.
MTA.
MTA, sorry. I just get the two, they meet the third one. MTA, Michigan Township Association. Meets tomorrow at 7 PM in the county building, room 320. Any other announcements? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are adjourned at 8:26 PM.